All right, welcome to another, I'm gonna call this how to anime video. So for this video, we are going to be talking about Chainsaw Man. Everything you need to know about Chainsaw Man is in episode 1. When episode 1 came out, I thought the same thing when I read the manga. So I am caught up on the manga. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything for you. That's why my whole reasoning behind why everything you need to know is in episode 1 is the feelings that I had and what I picked out during that time reading that first chapter and watching episode 1. That takes us throughout the whole journey of Chainsaw Man, through Denji's journey. In episode 1, what does Denji represent? Denji represents the common worker. He represents the common man. That is who he is. This is a character that literally has to carry his father's debt. His dad died, and next thing you know, his son Denji is the one that has to carry on that legacy, and that legacy is debt. Denji is a character in a situation that he can't really get out of. He started working for the Yakuza when he was very young. He only had one skill, and that only happened because he came across Pochita. He came across Pochita and he gained this ability to fight off some of these devils in order to pay off his father's debt. You have this common problem in society, right? It's a debt problem. We're all in debt. There's a national debt. It takes many years for people to pay off their debt that they accumulate. And Denji's situation is even worse because he has to take on someone else's debt, and now he has to work to pay that off. So now he owes the debt to the Yakuza, and the Yakuza, to me, it's basically like a government, a business entity, or something like that you have to pay back your debt to. And how this metaphor that I'm building right now really works for Denji, it makes sense for Denji as a character. The Yakuza, they have a conversation in the car in episode 1, and the one guy was questioning why they are using Denji and his little pet dog or pet devil or whatever to, fight off devils for them. And the older Yakuza member, he says, Denji just does what he's told. He doesn't cause him any issues. Like any good worker would do, you show up to work and you just do your job and you don't cause issues. This is a 9-to-5 thing, for the common man, the common worker. We're going out there working our 9-to-5s, and what do your bosses want you to do? They just want you to do your job and just shut the hell up. So that's what's building more towards this metaphor of Denji being that common worker. So this is what brings us into this dream motif. Denji talks about this dream that he wants. What does most 9-to-5 workers want? Like I'm in the belief that most people that work 9-to-5, that work for whatever company, they dream of the opportunity to live a better life. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of people are working and enjoying their jobs, but at the end of the day, if there was another alternative, they're probably thinking about this other alternative where their life can be better. So what makes Denji funny as a character too is like his dream is not that big. And you could kind of think of Denji's dream as like the American dream. Denji just wants to be with hot chicks. He just wants good food, like just putting jam on bread. And he just wants to literally just have a decent job, have a roof over his head. He wants the most basic things in life that every man wants. That's how terrible his life is in Chainsaw Man, that he had to sell away his body parts in order to just live a decent life and just live day to day, live month to month, because what happens at the beginning of the episode, the Yakuza comes in and he just taxes the crap out of him, and Denji is just left just being able to have a little bit of bread for dinner. And that's how that just builds even more into this common man metaphor, the common worker, the everyday blue collar, white collar, whatever collar you are. You're working majority of your day. You're working so hard, you're paying off your debt, and then the government just comes in and just takes away all your stuff. The corporation, the business just come in, take away your stuff. So that is Denji's situation, and it sucks. And then what happens later in that episode? What happens later in that episode is the Yakuza member gives Denji his next job to go hunt down this other devil. But in reality, what does he do? He takes Denji and he pulls him into this empty like warehouse basically to get rid of him. So after working so hard to pay off your debt, his boss brings him in and he's like, what the heck, man? He's like, I gotta kill you, man. You did a good job, you know, I respect what you did, but now you're gone. So how is that? That just builds even more, in my opinion, into this metaphor of Denji just being screwed over as an everyday worker. The Yakuza man, he comes in and he tells you, hey, you know, I'm done with you. Now it's time to get rid of you. And who does the Yakuza members turn into? They turn into the zombie devil. So this is what makes Tatsuki Fujimoto great as a writer and a storyteller, because all of the devils, everything to me in this story, it's very clear. So he's literally labeled as the zombie devil. It's not some abstract idea. This character that he fights, that Denji ends up fighting, is the zombie devil. So what does the zombie devil say? He's like, humans are dumb, humans are idiots. I just give them power and they become my slave. So you're working with this giant metaphor of the common man that's just getting screwed, being used, and Denji just wanting to have that better life. Here you have his boss just wrecking his life, and the zombie devil ends up being he's the perfect first devil to fight Denji as Chainsaw Man, because this whole episode is an amalgamation. It just sums up everything in Chainsaw Man of what Denji's journey represents. So the zombie devil, he turns people into slaves. If you see a 9-to-5 as slave work, then that makes perfect sense. Again, I don't think most people want to work the 9-to-5. It's just something that we have to do in order to survive. And you know, most of us are operating on that, hey, you know, I want this better life. I want this better life. And it's just, you know, it's kind of me like projecting a little bit, you know, because I relate to that aspect of Chainsaw Man so much, because we want more. We want to have a better life. We have a somewhat decent life. Some of us have really, really crappy lives, and we're kind of strapped with debt. We're strapped with just not having the ability, the skill set that we must build. So Denji represents that, but you know, his dreams are very, very basic. So after Denji ends up turning to Chainsaw Man, because you know, he got that dog in him. Now he has that dog in him. He has the ability now, having that dog in him, to you know, fight back against this control that the zombie devil, the Yakuza, all of his problems that he's facing in episode 1, he literally has that dog in him to fight back against all the debt, all the people controlling his life that's stopping him from living his basic dream. So we have this incredible scene. He turns into Chainsaw Man and he just wrecks everyone, right? But what happens at the end of the episode? Makima shows up, and she shows up with a couple other guys. And who are they? Who do they work for? They work for the government. So that is everything you need to know about episode 1. Denji is this common man. He has a simple dream, and it's this debt, all the stuff in society that is like stopping him from just he just wants to be with hot chicks, eat good food, and live under a roof and just have like a decent job, right? He's not asking for much. So the biggest metaphor in this is Denji wanting to achieve his dreams, having the freedom to do so without all these other outside entities controlling his ability to do so. And now you have this overall kind of aspect to Chainsaw Man in Denji's life, that they're trying to manipulate him to just do what he's told, to be that good worker. So yeah, if you guys haven't read Chainsaw Man, it's not really gonna make sense to you, but if you've read Chainsaw Man, I think everything that I'm saying makes complete sense. So this is why I really love Chainsaw Man. It's super relatable, and the same feeling that I had from reading the manga, I had the same feeling for watching episode 1, because episode 1 is the most important episode because it tells you exactly what Denji's journey is about and what forces are at work. So yeah, so this is my second video of the how-to anime series. This video I talked about Chainsaw Man. Check out my previous video about the Eminence and Shadow. I talk about specifically what makes the Eminence and Shadow very unique, and I really like that aspect of the Eminence and Shadow. So go ahead and check that out. So I have another YouTube channel. It's an anime figure channel, so if you guys want to check that out. Also, I have a blog at otakusen.com. Go ahead and check that out. And yeah, do me a favor, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you guys think of Chainsaw Man. I really would love to know how you guys think of Chainsaw Man. How do you guys think of Denji? What does Chainsaw Man mean to you? To me, there's a lot of deepness, there's a lot of depth to Chainsaw Man as an overall story, and the forces that are at work with the characters. And you have the comedy in there that I really love, and this is what gives it that Chainsaw Man feel. I do like the anime, but for right now I still have to edge it to the manga being a little bit better. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you guys think. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.